Hey Saints, I'm Isaiah.
And I'm Lucas Phelps.
And they call me Bo Belansky.
And welcome to SFHS Today. Hey, do you like chess? Well, Chess Club meets every week on Monday and Thursday night after school in the IMC. Here's Tony to tell you more about it.
We take out the chess boards and we just start playing and having fun. Okay. We meet on Monday and Thursday from 2:45 to 4:45, and then after that students can take the activity bus home. But certainly if kids want to come in at any time after school and play chess, they're always welcome. This is kind of a pickup of the chess club we had a couple years ago. We took last year off because I was the interim speech coach, but now that Mr. Toole's back in action and building his team again, now it's time for chess club to come back. In about 8 weeks we're going to have our end of the year tournament, and we kind of break it down according to ability level, and we have a great time, and we're going to have some great prizes. Just anybody's welcome. Stop on in and we'll get you hooked up and we'll get you ready to play.
Over the long weekend there was a thespian festival which some of our theater students attended. Here's John with more information.
I learned so many new things and techniques in workshops that happened during the Thespian Festival.
So at Thespians, there's a lot of things that students can do. They can do a workshop, which is a 50-minute period of time that they spend with an artist. Maybe they learn about musical theater, or they learn about writing. I taught a writing workshop, and I also taught a cold reading workshop about how to audition using cold reads. There are audition workshops, there are choreography workshops, there are workshops for people to learn how to dance if they're not dancers, stage combat workshops. So workshops are 50-minute time frames that students get to go in, work with a professional, and learn a new skill.
Even if you might not be interested in being on stage, you could also learn about being backstage and doing the technical side of theater. I learned how to work a pin rail and how to do all the lights for the backstage crew.
There was a lot of things going on, mostly workshops and a few shows that were going on all day for 2 straight days, so it was pretty exhausting. But you could work with professionals and learn a lot about what they had to offer, and it was really fun.
Some of the perks to being a Minnesota State Thespian officer is the ability to connect with other officers from other schools and being able to be a representative for the state of Minnesota in the theater program. And it's also very rewarding being able to share my point of view of theater and how theater has affected me and what it's done in my life and how life-changing theater has been in my life.
I think one of my favorite things about Minnesota Thespians is when I see my own students having a great time, learning from professionals, and then bringing those things back into St. Francis High School to use.
I've met so many great people, so easy to talk to, and you could just be yourself around them. I'd recommend it to anyone that's interested in the arts.
And if you like Girl Scout cookies, they're being sold by multiple people throughout the school.
I love Girl Scout cookies.
Me too.
Financial aid night was held last Thursday in the PAC. Parents and students had the opportunity to learn more about how to prepare financially for college.
Knowledgeable teams are doing very well this year. This is the first time St. Francis has ever sent 3 teams to the sub-region meet, and the first time Knowledgeable has ever had a sophomore team make it. The senior team was 19th overall in the region, and the junior team was 17th overall. Our sophomore team came 30th in the region.
They hosted the conference meet yesterday. Also, Thursday, students in Futures Prep Finale had the chance to participate in mock interviews. Here's Sydney and Bailey with more information.
The company that I work for is a company called Edward Jones. We're in the financial services industry, help people with their personal finances. I think it's like any job or any sport, anything that you're in, you need to prepare. You need to stretch before a basketball game, you need to practice your vocals before you go to a concert, practice your lines before you go to a play. I think anytime that you can kind of get that experience, get those nerves out of your system, I think that really helps you prepare for the real situation. I think they're doing really well. They're very nervous. Obviously they haven't probably done this before, but it's a great experience. A lot of kids will, what I kind of hope to educate them is not say that they're hardworking, but to give examples of those things. can assure you everyone in these interviews is saying that they're hardworking, they're dedicated, they're loyal. That's not separating people from an interview standpoint. You want to separate yourself, but I think kids are doing very well. They're very friendly, and they're doing a great job connecting with the interviewer.
A mock interview is an opportunity for our juniors and seniors in the Futures Prep class to meet with real business community members who will come in and interview our students and prepare them for a real job interview. From this classroom assignment, I hope that students will be able to successfully complete an application form, a resume, and a cover letter, and also that they will have the skills and confidence to go out and land themselves a real job.
Going into this, I was like, okay, this is definitely going to help me prepare for the next time I get interviewed, because when I got interviewed for my first time, it was like on the spot when I went to the place, and I didn't realize how unprepared I was until I took this class and found out that I shouldn't have answered the way I've answered. So this time my interview went so well because I knew like what kinds of questions were going to be asked and like how to answer them.
In other news, the Bridge Street Journal is now taking applications for the annual literary magazine. We got more information from the current advisor and the founding advisor of this arts publication.
The Bridge Street Journal is a literary magazine that is published every year, kind of in the spring, that allows students to have their poetry, short stories, other creative writing things published, as well as several works of art. So photography or even a sculpture. You know, if we can take a picture and then we can publish the picture, it's just a way for students to publish their work.
It goes way, way back. I located a couple items here of interest. The Sensational magazine, 1987, and the second edition of Sensational in 1989. So these were print communication class projects, and we decided to put together our own magazines. Most of the schools around us, in colleges as well, have a poetry and arts publication that they put out. We did not have anything like that. So, in 1995 was the first year that I organized and published the first Bridge Street Journal. I believe it's been going, I think we've had one published every year since 1995. I don't think we missed a year. So that's something to be proud of. Ms. Stoffel now is a creative writing teacher, and that's a perfect place for the Bridge Street Journal, because that's where the real creative writers are.
Generally when I'm writing something and I'm given a prompt, I go out and I find things to inspire myself with. So I'll watch some movies that I really like, and I'll just kind of get some ideas from it. Like I'll watch poetry, and when I finally find something that inspires me, I go off of that idea and I just kind of write things that come to mind about it. I usually write, I don't really write poetry, but I've had to for classes. I'm more into writing short stories and little prologues to books. Like I've recently written, I think it was A Supper for Crows. I wrote like a scene instead of just a whole book.
There is a submission form that there's a box in the main office. Students can pick up the form, or they can come and see me. I'm Mrs. Stoffel in room E204. I have some forms too. You can come and pick this up. It has some different ideas of what you can submit. It has all the guidelines and the rules and all that kind of stuff. And then you just fill this out and you turn in a printed typed copy of your work, or you can share a copy through Google Docs, or you can email it. There's lots of different ways to get your stuff to me, but you just need to get your stuff to me.
Art, poetry, writing, photography, and I hope that this tradition continues.
In our 5 Minutes of Fame segment this week, Maddie and Tessa went out and got the scoop on the beatboxer Alex Atkins.
So I I had Alex last trimester in my 12th grade world literature class. And my first impression of him beatboxing was very shocking. I've never heard someone beatbox live, nonetheless someone who is as talented as Alex. And so when he first did it, I actually kind of just let him do it, and we stopped learning for like 2 minutes, and he just beatboxed, and it was really random. And then he kind of just does it periodically. Like we'd be, working on something, and it'd be quiet time, and he'd start beatboxing, and I'd have to tell him to stop, and he'd go, "Oh, sorry, I didn't even realize I was doing it." So I think it's become so natural for him that it's kind of a second habit. He just practices daily.
I guess he pretty much just chills in the back of class and shreds the gnar of beatboxing.
Has he ever?
3-4 years ago.
I was impressed. It was pretty gnarly.
Saw a YouTube video of this guy beatboxing, and I was like, wow, that's really cool.
I think everyone enjoys it. It's pretty interesting, and you don't see it every day.
So just try it, Don't give up. If you think you sound bad, like at the beginning, I sounded terrible, but I thought I sounded good, so I kept trying it, and I got good. So, if you sound bad, just keep trying, and you'll make it better. Just music I make, I guess. Like, just make it up off the top of my head. Like, think of like what a dubstep song sounds like, and I'm like, all right, let me try and do something like that.
Finally, this Saturday, Varsity Show Choir will be competing at Hastings, and a drumline hosts meet right here at the high school. Hey, Bo, since we're talking about people to recognize this week, who should we be looking at for sports?
Our athlete of the week this week is Lucas Carroll.
So we'll be right back with the following weather, random question things, and sports.
It's going to be a chilly weekend. Today, we have a high of 27 and a low of 13 with snow up to 1 inch.
On Saturday, there's a high of 22 and a low of -8, partly cloudy.
On Sunday, we have a high of 6 and a low of -10, mostly sunny.
That's your weekend weather. Have a great weekend, Saints.
It's the random question thing. Ding.
Hey, my name's Connor. My favorite Jedi Master, actually, is Yoda. Yeah, he's a beast.
Ronin, and my favorite Star Wars character is Han Solo.
I'm Chris Lennon. My favorite character is Darth Vader. The respirator and how he breathes is just always the best to see in the Star Wars movies.
My name is Justin J. Bone Straight, and I like Yoda because he's green. Leia, because I like her buns.
My favorite Star Wars character is Chewbacca because he makes a funny sound.
Jordan Ramsey and Luke Skywalker.
Sam Stokel. Yoda, because he's small and green.
R2-D2, because he's just
Yoda, because he is wise.
Luke Skywalker, because he can be my Valentine.
It's gotta be Mace Windu, because I haven't told what look like.
Luke Skywalker.
I like Han Solo. I like Luke Skywalker. Chewbacca's kind of funny. It'd be an easy part to play. All he does is growl.
Princess Leia, because she has great hair. Ewok, because they guard the forest.
Hey fellas, let's talk about sports. hockey team ended their season on Monday with a 10-1 loss against Elk River. Our athlete of the week is Lucas Carroll.
This year, Lucas was a second-year captain, so he was a captain his junior year and this year as well. And he led by example every year that he was with our program. That was the biggest thing, and his work ethic was a huge part of what we have built upon.
I've been playing for about 15 years. I play right wing. As a team, we've fought through a lot of adversity, and personally, I feel like I've been doing pretty well.
Well, first off, he's always working hard, moving his feet at all times. He's always positive when we're losing, if we're down or something. He always put the puck in the net compared to everyone else. I don't know. He was always contributing with points. You know, he led the team with points, goals and assists.
Lucas, he started as an 8th grader, so he was a 5-year letter winner with the varsity hockey program. And as an 8th grader, he was a pretty small kid out on the ice, but he's developed into an older, bigger, stronger, faster player by his senior year, and he still has the same work ethic he's always had, though.
The basketball team heads to STMA tonight to battle the Knights in the conference crossover game. Our wrestling team was defeated by St. Michael in team sections last Friday, and they'll head to Cambridge tonight for individual sections. The gymnastics team hosted sections last Friday and weren't able to make it to state, but juniors Natalie Washy and Andy Frank qualified for the state tournament as individuals. And lastly, our girls basketball team heads to Princeton tonight to take on the Tigers. Have a stellar weekend, St. Francis.